Welcome to another edition of Wild World of Outlaw. I know it's been a while since I posted, but today we got a little cooking lesson for you. We're going to make outlaw tea. Step one, you got to have water. I like to use the cities. It's full of all the goodness. I'm sorry I'm just off the camera here, but you can hear the water running. It's coming out of the faucet. And it's Christmas time, and we have a lot of festivities and stuff, and nothing says it better than outlaw tea. So what we do is we fill us a pan up of water, and you'll see me come back into view here. Now what we're going to do is, to make outlaw tea, you got to have water, you got to have heat. What I like to do is, sorry I can't exactly show you, but what I like to do, you can tell by the burner here. You see that burner going red? I like to get it hot. Like I said, on high. Now, it's going to take a minute for the water to start boiling. So, what we got to do is we got to let it come to, we want it to simmer to a good hot boil. And then we'll be ready to show you how to make the tea. Now we've got our water here. As you can see, it's simmering. And this is the secret ingredient, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot make outlaw tea unless you got the finest Rockcastle County water. It has to be from Rockcastle County. If you can't get it in Rockcastle County, then it's not outlaw tea. I promise you. But being as this is a wild world of outlaw, and we're making tea, this is my famous outlaw tea. Everybody loves it. It's almost to die for. If the water doesn't kill you, the tea will. But what we're going to do, I took the liberty of opening the packages already. Just so, for time constraints, we don't do the fast videos. We do them slow. So what we need here is you got to have 8. And they're not a sponsor. We're not sponsored by Great Value. But as you can see, we're using 8 Great Value tea bags. And the way I like to do it, I don't wait till the water's in the jug. I do it so that it simmers and seasons to perfection in the pot. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 8 tea bags. And the way you're going to do it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. There you go, 8 tea bags. Now we're gonna let that sit there and simmer, and they call it letting it steep. You gotta let it steep for X amount of minutes. But while it's steeping and the water's coming to the bowls, as we say, bringing the water to the bowl, you'll notice I got a little extra tea in the jug. Well, we don't want to throw that out. That's sweetened and already seasoned. That gives it a little extra flavor. And what I have here is a sugar jar out of a pork rind bottle. These pork rind canisters make great Tupperware in Rockcastle County. You can only do this in Rockcastle County, though. Anywhere else, people make fun of you. But in Rockcastle County, it is allowed. So what we're going to do is, I like my tea extra sweet, even though I'm pre-diabetic and all that, but we don't worry about that. This is what gets me through a day of hard work. We want 1 cup. Then you're going to go back. We want 2 cups. And then, oh, Daddy likes a little extra kick. Don't tell Mommy about this one. But what we do is we put a little extra, just a little dab in there, just enough grains so we can call it extra sweet, no lemon tea. It's almost like Gold Peak. They're not a sponsor neither. It's almost about like Gold Peak, but altogether different. So you get the idea. And then we put the lid back on the sugar jar, because we don't want the mice and the rats and stuff from Rockcastle County. We don't want them coming down here getting in my sugar. You get a rat coming down here getting in your sugar, then you got a problem. Then you got to shoot the rats. We don't want that. What we want is a good sealed up sugar jar. Now you can hear my teas are boiling away there. Now I could boil all the bacteria and stuff off the water, but hey, that gives it more flavor. Why would you want to boil everything out of the water, all the arsenic and everything else that's going to give this tea the flavor that it deserves? So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the heat down. We're going to go all the way down to low. And then we're going to turn the oven or the stove top one click to off. And we're going to let that sit there. Maybe 10 minutes or something. I don't know. Tea's already, the water's already black. I mean, it looks like burnt water. But you still want to get all the flavor out of them great value. Not Lipton. Can't use Lipton. Lipton will not work. You got to use the poor man's tea bags if you're going to have Outlaw tea. So we'll be back at you in about 10 minutes or so. So you just hang loose. It'll be a split second for you, but it'll be 10 minutes of my life for me. Just remember that. Now, the main trick to Outlaw tea, other than Rockcastle County water, is you got to have pure sugar to make it sweeter. And we're about to add the sugar to the tea. Rather, we're going to add the tea to the sugar. But for safety reasons, we're going to take the extra sugar, this little bag of sugar here, and she's going to have to go in the other room. But this is little Lucy May, and she's our pride and joy. Say hi to all the fans we don't have out there, Lucy. Tell them to like and subscribe when they get a chance. Wild World of Outlaw 42. Say bye, Lucy. Now, as you can see here, we've had, and see all that little extra bit of goodness left down there in the bottom of the jug. Yeah, it looks like brown sludge right now, but it'll look like tea here in a minute. But we got 2 and, I don't know, quarter, 3/4, something like that, cups of sugar in here. We know we got 2 cups at least. Now, the old lady always has a bad habit. I call her the old lady, even though she's younger than me. She has a bad habit of dumping the whole batch of tea in with the tea bags. Well, let me tell you what happens. You let that stuff soak for a day or two, them tea bags come apart, and then you got tea grains all in your tea. So, we found this little strainer right here, this little gadget right here. This is a special tool, and this can only be used to make Outlaw tea. You cannot make Outlaw tea unless you have this strainer. And you're not going to have it because I've got it. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this strainer right here. You see this little pot tea pitcher right here. We're going to lay this strainer on there. Now, let me ease you over here so you can get a good view. Now you see we've got our tea with our 8 tea bags. We've got our jar with our sugar in it. And we got our bag of sugar just off camera here. Grunting with mommy. But what we're going to do is make a mess. And we're going to pour it. See there, that strainer catches them tea bags, them great value tea bags, just perfect. By the way, they're not a sponsor. But if you pour the tea over top of the tea bags, that way whatever tea's still left in the tea bags, it comes out in the tea, and then you're left with a bitter tea. And it's a black tea is what we're making. This is not green tea. You dump all that goodness. Make sure you get it all in there. Don't want to waste a drop of it. This stuff's expensive. But you dump all that in there. And then I just like to throw that over there on the shelf. Sometimes I don't even want my mess up. But being is that my wife has been making cooking videos. And she's on top of it. Making me clean up my mess up. We're going to wipe it up right here. Try not to burn our hands on the hot burner. If we do, it's alright. That's what we got Rockcastle County Hospital for. I'm sure they got a burn center or something. But then, normally I use a blue spoon with a grate in it, but since we don't got tea bags we can catch, we just use this old wooden spoon. By the way, you can use this for corporal punishment. Now, I don't know what state you're in, what laws apply, but if you have a kid that's acting up, these right here they do sting. I've never used it, because you can see mine's not broken. It comes from the dollar store. It's just been used for tea. You know how blackened it is. That's the thing with Outlaw tea. You gotta use a wooden spoon most of the time to get the flavor. But what you do is you gotta do this real proper. You gotta put the spoon right down in there, and you're gonna give it a little stir. And as that sugar dissolves, you're gonna go faster and faster and faster, a little faster. You gotta keep going, keep going. You see how it's sloshing up on the side? You want to get that sugar completely dissolved. Now that most, about 95% of the bacteria has boiled off of it, well, that's took all the flavor out of it. So what I'm going to do is, if I can do this proper, we're going to do it in one motion. You leave the spoon in, you're wanting it to soak up, give it that woodsy flavor. The spoon gives it woodsy flavor. But let me see if I can adjust the view right here just a little bit. There we go. Now you can see it. You can see you get the idea. You can see the corner of the tea pitcher there. And we got our wood spoon in here. You see that? It's soaking. So it's soaking up, giving it that oak flavor. See, it's like moonshine, putting a block of wood in there. Shh, don't tell nobody I said moonshine. But what we're going to do is, we've got our Rockcastle County spring water right here. And we're going to flip it all the way to cold. Don't worry about that stuff falling off. I'll leave a mess for me. And as we add that Rockcastle County spring water, we stir it up until it gets full. And then you reach over and you shut the water off. Better make sure you shut the water off. You don't want to have a mess with it. Give it about 3/4 of a stir right here. You know, you just want to make sure the tea mixes with the water, because if the tea doesn't mix with the water, then what you have is you'll have black tea down here made with boiling hot Rockcastle water, and then you'll just have cold Rockcastle County water up here, and your first glass gonna taste like water. So you want to mix it up real good. It's still spinning right now, even though I'm not stirring it. Imagine that. That's how good I am. And then the only thing we got left to do is we take our lid right here. We just got a couple more steps. We take our lid and take our lid right there, and what we're going to do is I'm going to get my cool little cup here. I'll be just back in front of it just a second. Just in a second. You want to make sure you get your, I got my Primo cup. By the way, they're not a sponsor either. It's a Hydroflow. If they want to sponsor me, I'll try to sell them one, but I got this from my Nana. She got it at a yard sale. So, I mean, they're not a sponsor. No charge. As old two-stroker says, no charge, you know. It didn't cost me nothing. Now, what we're going to do is, we're going to pour our tea in the cup. And the reason I say you got to have it full of ice is because that hot tea is going to melt your ice down. And as it melts down, it's going to make the tea cold. And then you take your lid and put your lid on your cup. And then I'm going to show you a little trick right here. If I can bring you over into view. The main thing to Outlaw tea that you must not forget is to keep it fresh. You got to come over to your stainless steel refrigerator. And you put it on top of the fridge. You let her get cold. And the last and most important step I can show you is you got to drink your Outlaw tea. Next up, I'll be making you some outlaw pork chops. But until then, y'all keep it cool out there in the wild world of outlaw.